Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The first box was always the hardest. It sat in the center of Alara's living room, a plain brown cardboard cube that seemed to suck all the sound and light from the room. She held the roll of packing tape, its screech and unwelcome fanfare for a life in transition. From the bedroom doorway, Leo watched, his expression a familiar blend of excitement and mild panic. "It just got real," he said, his voice softer than usual. Alara offered a wobbly smile. "It's been real for months, since you slid that key across the table." The memory was a warm spot in the chilly uncertainty of packing. It had been a simple, brass key, attached to a keyring shaped like a tiny, poorly painted lobster, a souvenir from their weekend in Maine. The gesture had been so quiet, so certain. "Here, a key. For you. For us." "I know," Leo said, crossing the room to stand beside her. He placed a hand on the small of her back, a steadying pressure she had come to rely on. This is the point of no return. You're really leaving this place." Alara looked around. The apartment had been her sanctuary. She knew every creak in the floorboards, the exact spot by the window where the afternoon sun would pool like liquid gold, the way the city skyline glittered at night like a scattered drill box. It was the site of her independence, her late-night writing sessions, her solo Saturday morning pancakes. "She's not leaving it," she corrected gently, leaning into his touch. "I'm taking what matters from it." He understood. They had spent weeks in a delicate dance of negotiation, a merger of two lives. His minimalist, almost monastic loft would become their space. Her books would fill his empty shelves. Her grandmother's quilt would drape over his modern sofa, a splash of faded floral against the gray. It was a compromise, a creation of something entirely new from the bones of their old selves. "Are you sure about the neighborhood?" he asked, the question a ritual they performed daily. "It's not as lively as yours." "I'm sure," she said, and she meant it. She would miss the bustle of her street, the noisy familiarity of her local cafe. But Leo's neighborhood had quiet, tree-lined streets and a park with a pond where they could walk on Sundays. It had space, both physical and metaphorical, for the future they whispered about in the dark. She picked up a framed photograph from a stack on the sofa. The two of them, windswept and laughing on a coastal cliff path. "We'll put this on the mantle," she said, her voice gaining strength, "right in the center." Leo took the frame from her, his fingers brushing against hers. "The first thing you'll see when you walk in." He looked at the photo, then at her. "The closing is in 3 weeks. Then it's ours. The walls, the leaky faucet, the view of the maple tree in the backyard, all of it. Ours." The word was a key in its own right, unlocking a door in her heart. This wasn't about her moving into his space or him into hers. It was about building theirs, a shared address, a shared life. With the newfound resolve, Alara bent down and sealed the first box with a decisive rip of the tape. The sound was no longer an ending, but a beginning. It was the sound of a prologue being closed, the first page of a new chapter turning. The rest of the apartment, with its half-empty shelves and ghostly echoes, didn't feel like a loss. It felt like a launch pad. She stood up and took Leo's hand. "Okay," she said, her voice clear and sure. "Let's start the rest of our lives."